Okay, I'm back. Another league race. This one's at Austria, and this is the fifth race of the second season in this league. And the way the season's been going thus far, I think I want to say maybe I've uploaded one race from this season, if I'm correct. I think I've had a couple races that were good, a couple races that were in the points, and then I've had two or three DNFs. I've had two, I think, two DNFs. I did have the first race of the year. I got points. Yeah, I uploaded that one, and then the fourth race of the year, which was Belgium, Spa. I didn't upload that. It was generally a pretty good race, except for the beginning when I sort of yeeted myself into another driver, and that was embarrassing, and I didn't want to show it, so I didn't upload it. And I kind of feel weird about championing a race where I yeeted myself into another driver on the first lap as a good race, even though the result was fine. I think I benefited from safety cars and such, but it was a decent result, but not something that I really wanted to champion here as a great race or anything. So you just saw qualifying. I'm P7 out of 19, which is nice. And what I was thinking mainly here was just be careful at the beginning. I've had too many races where I completely derail everything at the start just by being completely stupid. So I was really intent on trying to make sure that didn't happen. And just trying to be careful, just managed to dodge that, which was nice, and just stay alive, which is nice. And I'm really happy with making it out of that first turn safely and in one piece. So that was a big plus for me. We get a safety car almost immediately on lap one, as you just saw. I went ahead and skipped the safety car, skipped to the end of lap three here when we're coming out from under safety car, and I'm P5. Okay, so I qualified P7. I'm P5 after this caution. A couple guys pitted. I didn't pit. I almost didn't give KB enough room there on the inside of turn one. I think I did give him a little room, but maybe not as much as I would have liked to. A little late on the brake there going into that turn. Went wheel to wheel a little bit right there with Maple Bro. Fortunately, he was keeping a pretty straight line. I was keeping a pretty straight line, and everything ended up fine. And he's a good racer. He's a fast racer. He seems to be pretty clean. So I wasn't too concerned that he was gonna send me into the shadow realm or anything, which was nice. I maybe there was maybe a pass there up the inside. I just didn't. I just don't think I had the confidence to go for it. Just because if I just get a little too far too far up the track, I could absolutely send both of us off. So I figured it would be smarter to be safer. And what I've been really trying to focus on a lot, as I've said before in multiple videos, is just trying to be consistent and not wreck and get myself to the end of the race. Because if I get myself to the end of the race, I'm bound to do better than if I get some sort of DNF situation or something like that. So Maple Bro gets past me. Well, I don't think he was past me, but I sort of had a run at him and then didn't get it. KB did get past me there. He just sort of went up the inside on that home stretch and took the position, which again I wanted to be safe more than anything. And honestly, he's a faster racer than I am, and I was not going to put us both into the wall defending it turn one there this early in the race. So you see Alex coming up behind me a little bit, getting pretty close. And Alex can be a fast racer. He can be inconsistent at times, I've seen. So I did feel like if I could keep him behind me, it was more likely that he would make a mistake or get tangled up with Bode behind him or something like that, and maybe I could run away with the position a little bit. So I was trying to focus on keeping him behind me there. You saw KB pit, so I'm up to P5, and I want to say that KB maybe got some damage on the last lap from Alex at the end of this stretch that you're currently seeing, because actually KB accused me after the race of dive bombing him, and I didn't have any idea what he was talking about because at no point did I dive bomb him in this race. I think maybe he got dive bombed by Alex right there at the turn that we just saw, and KB was saying that he took some side pod damage or something. So I think maybe he took some damage from Alex and then maybe went into the pits to get things fixed. I don't really know exactly what the situation was, but regardless, I went up to P5 here. And I want to say Maple Bro. No, Maple Bro didn't pit. I think somebody else pitted as well because I was P7 for a moment. Now I'm up to P5. I don't know who it was though. I'm gaining a little bit of distance on Alex, which is good. I wanted to get outside of that 1 second DRS range if I could, so I was kind of focused on that. And especially on this main stretch here, I think if the guy behind me has DRS, it's not too difficult to catch somebody and get a pretty good angle going into the turn. So I wanted to avoid that. But he got outside the DRS range, and so that was just a couple of laps racing there with really nobody around me. Alex and Bode, I think, maybe got into a little scrap. I gained some space on them, and I was a little bit behind the people in front of me. So interesting thing to watch here. This is lap 9 going into lap 10. I pitted. We haven't had any other safety cars or anything. I didn't realize it, but I accidentally turned pit assist off. Well, it's not that I didn't realize it. I was testing some stuff before this race and turned pit assist off. Didn't realize I still had it off. So you see me after the pit going 49 here, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening? And then I realized, and I hit L2, I think, that turns off pit assist. But I absolutely lost some time there. You see Bode is in front of me. I'm P13 after the pit stop. Bode is in front of me. Nice little undercut by him, and I told him so after the race. I said, hey, it's a good undercut. I think it was probably hurt by the fact that I was going 49 miles per hour out of the pits, but also I just think he had a good undercut and got a little space on me. I mean, I think even if I'd had pit assist on, I think he still would have been ahead of me, probably just not 4.5 seconds. So I come out of the pits, I'm P13, and I was mentally thinking through all this at this point in the race, thinking, okay, P13, did the pit assist really hurt me that badly? Have people just not pitted yet? I think it was just that people hadn't pitted yet. There were quite a few guys in front of me. You see Boy for Jesus and Hal both pit right there, and I'm up to P12, and you can sort of see I'm coming out directly ahead of Boy for Jesus. He was coming out of the pits, so that was nice. It was nice to get ahead of him. He's a really fast racer, so I know that there's every possibility that he's going to catch me here. But I'm up to P11 after passing the two guys that pitted. So this is kind of interesting, lap 11 of 18, position 11 of 18, both at the same time, which is kind of cool, on the top left and top right of the screen. I thought that was kind of a nice little coincidence, I guess. You see Boy for Jesus is gaining quite a bit of time behind me. He is certainly faster than I am. He's got more pace than I do. And I want to say he's had a race or two where he was competing for fastest lap. I don't know if he's ever gotten it, but he's been in the league for part of Season 1 and all of Season 2 thus far. He's been a pretty fast racer. So I knew that especially with DRS, he's going to have a really good shot to catch me. And I didn't. I mean, what can you really do? He's a faster racer. He's going to get DRS. But I was fortunate enough here, maybe, I guess maybe you would say it's fortunate, to get this safety car. KB and I want to say it was, I forget who he tangled with. But anyway, Maple Bro, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, KB was out of the race. They had a little incident there. I skipped the safety car again. We're going into lap 15. You see Alex get around me. He actually got penalized later because he was passing under safety car before the start-finish line there. So, but I didn't know that at the time that was going to happen. But I do see that he's got a 3-second penalty. So I'm thinking, okay, I need to stay within 3 seconds of Alex, and I should be fine. Boy for Jesus is on my tail. He takes that spot there. I don't know if he just got a better exit. He may have traction control off or medium, in which case he's got an advantage over me out of corners just because I'm on full traction control. But he pretty easily took that spot. I've now turned my attention to the people behind me. So Chris, KYU62, is another guy who's very fast. As you can see at this point, he's got the fastest lap of the race. But I know that there's every likelihood that he's going to catch me. But again, this is a guy who has occasionally struggled with consistency. So I knew that if I can stay consistent, there's a very good chance that I'm going to stay ahead of him. And I think he made some sort of slip up there because he's down to 0.6 of a second off of me again. I'm trying to stay within DRS range of Boy for Jesus in front of me because, again, if I don't have DRS on him, then I'm not going to catch him. But if I do have DRS on him, then hopefully I can stay in that little battle there. But you can kind of see him running away a little bit, 1.3 seconds now, and I kind of figured, okay, well, I'm not going to catch him. I just need to make the best of what I have going on here. And that mainly is defending against Chris and not letting him have P7. I'm now P7 after the second safety car. We're in our last couple of laps here, and I'm expecting that there won't be another safety car. I actually don't even know if the game will let you end on a safety car. I've never tried it, but if there is a safety car at this point, we're probably going to end the race under safety car. But you see Chris lose a little bit of time there. He's up to 0.7 seconds behind me, which is within DRS range, but DRS wasn't enabled until right there, so he didn't actually get any benefit from it. You see Bode got spun out there. We found out after the race it was Alex and Bode who tangled there, and Bode got shunted, which was unfortunate because I think he had a really good race up to that point. I think that would have been an opportunity for him to get his most points ever that I know of. But it's unfortunate, but, sometimes it happens. But for my purposes, I'm up to P6 here, and Chris is certainly on my tail. But at least I have the spot on him for now, and I only have to hold it for another lap and some change, maybe a lap and a half at most. So I'm just really focused here on driving as fast as I can and staying as consistent as possible and hopefully being able to keep this P6. You see Chris drop back a little bit again. He's up to 0.7 seconds behind me. I'm not too worried about Kung Fu Panda behind him. At the back of my mind, I'm thinking maybe I can catch Boy for Jesus in front of me. And, of course, I'm still thinking that I need to stay within 3 seconds of Alex. I'm currently a second and a half back going into the last lap of the race. But as long as I can stay within 3 seconds of him, I'm going to get that position back post-race as he gets his 3-second penalty. So that's what I was focused on. And I'm feeling really good at this point. I am almost 0.6 of a second up on Chris. Well, at least until he gained a lot of time on that stretch there. I was maybe a little bit aggressive going into the turn, but I think Chris was as well because he just picked up a penalty that I believe was track limits right there. So I saw that happen, and I realized that even if he does get past me, I'm going to get the place back with the 3-second penalty. So I'm in a pretty good spot, I would say, at this point. Kung Fu Panda's got a penalty as well. He has no chance of catching me. Alex has got the penalty. So I'm in line for at least P5, I think. And then I see that X Incident X is off the track right there. So I pass him. I go into P5 coming into the home stretch. And I know that I'm going to get the elevation from Alex's 3 seconds. So as long as I keep it in one piece to the finish line, I'm looking at a P4. And that certainly is exactly what happened. And once we shook out the penalties after the race, I actually got up to P3. But at least a P4, I would say that's a really solid race for me. I was really happy with it. I thought it was really consistent. I think there was one moment that I made contact with another car. But overall, just really liked it.